Good day, class. How are you today? Hope you're doing good. But first, let me introduce myself. I am Rodelyn Tupas, your professor in science. Have you ever wondered why this country is very prone to typhoons? Here's the answer. Our country is very prone to typhoon due to its geographical location, wherein it lies in the most tropical cyclone-prone waters on Earth, making it susceptible to typhoons. The country is located just above the equator. It lies along the West Pacific Basin, which is considered the world's busiest typhoon belt. Bounded on the west by the West Philippine Sea, on the east by the Pacific Ocean, on the north of Basi Channel, and on the south by the Sulu and Celebes Sea. Typhoons tend to develop in warm seas in the oceans, and since the Philippines is near the equator, the weather is tropical. To add that, the nearest ocean is the Pacific, which is also the largest ocean, since the wind in this part of the world is blowing westward. And since the Philippines is located on the west side of Pacific Ocean, there is no doubt that the typhoon from Pacific Ocean blows towards the Philippines. The Western Pacific Ocean region, where typhoons and tropical cyclones are formed, is located east of the Philippines. Since the weather system travels from east to west, it has plenty of time and area to gather water evaporation on its way to the country. There are approximately 20 typhoons that hit the Philippines every year. Global warming, warmer seas, plays a part in the intensity of the storms we've been seeing in the past few years. Let's not forget that the Philippines is an archipelago, so the provinces are prone to storm surges, which is the back and forth movement of the water waves. Add the fact that that is a developing country, in a country where a typhoon is frequent, where houses should be concrete and cemented, but poverty makes that impossible. That's why lots of damage are being made after typhoons in the Philippines. All we have to do before the typhoon hit our place, we need to be prepared. Listen to radio or television for the latest update of the weather. Prepare things like emergency kit. Make a family communication plan. You should evacuate if you live on the coast, on a floodplain, near the river, or an island waterway to keep you and your family safe. What is the rule of pag-asa? Here's the rule of pag-asa. Monitor the weather and climate of the country. Provide information to the public about typhoon and flood warnings. Deliver a weather forecast and advisories. Provide facts related to climatology, meteorology, and astronomy. Weather equipment used for weather monitoring. First is Doppler weather radars. These are installed in some strategic location in the Philippines for closely monitoring the movements of typhoons, the amount of rainfall, and other atmospheric conditions. Second is automated rain gauge. It keeps track of excess rainfall to provide necessary warning signals whether such rainfall can cause flash floods or landslides. Third, landslide early warning sensors. They are invented by the UP and are used to pick up signals which can be read by the computer to show the movement of the soil and ground. This is an effective tool which can help reduce the risk of landslide incidents. Last is automated weather station. This is adapted by the Philippine Bureau and the DOST, which work jointly to monitor the amount of rainfall and flood levels. This tool is designed to produce incoming warnings in the form of sirens to signal the public for evacuation. Concept Micro. The Philippines lies near the western North Pacific Ocean, making the country prone to typhoons. The Pag-asa is the one responsible for giving advice to the public if ever there is a weather disturbance. Example: Typhoon Haiyan is one of the deadliest natural disasters ever to hit the Philippines, but it's far from the only one. The Southeast Asian country is located in an area that has been struck by a number of major storms. Trivia: yearly, the country experiences at least 20 typhoons. It is an evidence that the Philippines is the most exposed country to tropical cyclones. Group activity: how do Filipinos overcome the effects of typhoon? Explain. Before we end our lesson, let me leave a quote. To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream. Not only plan, but also believe. Thank you for listening and participating, class. Again, good day, keep safe, and God bless us all.
Good day everyone, this is April Joy Villanueva of BSN 3 Science. Today we will going to tackle about the importance of weather forecasting. You are expected to appreciate the importance of weather forecasting. The content of this lesson are: first, we will going to define what is weather forecasting, the types of weather forecasting, and the importance of weather forecasting. Weather forecasting is the prediction of the state of the atmosphere for a given location using the application of science and technology. This includes temperature, rain, cloudiness, wind speed, and humidity. There are three types of weather forecasting. First, we have the short-range forecasting. This forecasting will last 1 to 2 days. These are usually made for tactical reasons include production, planning, and control. Second is the medium-range forecasting. This kind of forecasting lasts 3 to 4 days to 2 weeks. These are made for minor strategic decisions in connection with the operation of business. And last is the long-range forecast. This forecasting is 4 times longer than 4 weeks. This is for major strategic decisions to be taken within organization, and they very much relate to the source implications. Next, we have the importance of weather forecasting. Weather forecasting is used in many situations like severe weather alert and advisories, predicting the behavior of the cloud for air transport, prediction of waterways in an area, agricultural development, and avoiding forest fire. Severe weather alerts and advisories is a major part of modern weather forecasting, which are the National Weather Services issue in anticipation of severe or hazardous weather expected. This is done to protect life and property. We have predicting the behavior of the cloud for air transport. Turbulence and icing are also significant in flight hazards. Thunderstorms are a problem for all aircrafts because of severe turbulence due to their updrafts and outflow boundaries. Prediction of waterways in a sea. These factors can each influence the safety of marine transit. Typically, weather forecasts can be received at sea through the use of radiofax. Agricultural development. Weather plays an important role in agricultural production. Weather aberrations may cause first physical damage to crops and soil erosion. And lastly, avoiding forest fire. Weather forecasting of wind, precipitations, and humidity is essential for preventing and controlling wildfires. So, weather forecasts are very important and very helpful to us. It informs us on what kind of weather to expect so that we can make future preparations and changes in our plans to do necessary measures and preparations before such disasters happens. Accurate weather forecasting can save a lot of lives and properties. With the advancement of technology, weather forecasting has developed to its level best, but there is yet to develop as far as nature is so unpredictable. Natural calamity and weather disturbances causing devastating destruction. Surprisingly, to save our Mother Earth, the scientists and meteorologists are also advancing their knowledge about weather forecasting. Are you familiar with the game 1 versus 100? So the aim of the game is for one contestant to answer questions against others and eventually try to eliminate them all. I have here rolls of paper with your names, and I will pick out the single player who will compete against the entire class. Here are the instructions, so listen carefully. The player is asked a multiple choice question. The rest of the class will be given 6 seconds to answer by selecting the letter A, B, or C. Formulate your own weather report about today's weather condition by using your personal observation skills. So this is the end of our discussion. Thank you and God bless.